Hoodwink, swindle, bamboozle. Am I reading something for a 1930s private eye? Ah, at least he's paying me. Hello, people of the internet. Have you heard of QAnon? It's a scam, a swindle, a con. It's a three-card Monty. These folks are pulling the wool over your eyes, playing you for a sucker, hitting you with the old razzle-dazzle. And the man to tell you about it is here. From the Poker and Politics Twitter feed, it's the Exit Through the Griftshop podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Exit Through the Griftshop podcast. Today I wanted to talk about evidence and how Q gets evidence backwards in ways that makes my head hurt. Q is very head-hurty that way. But on the issue of evidence, Q is particularly absurd. And what I mean by this is that Q claims to have rock-solid, irrefutable evidence of the corruption of the deep state. It constantly brings us up, says that we have it all. And furthermore than that, Q claims that they have broken up pedophile rings all across the world, that Haiti is a haven for these pedophiles, and that when the truth about Haiti comes out, that blacks will see Democrats as the true monsters that they are, and they will abandon the Democratic Party and run into the tender embrace of the Republican Party. This is the sort of thing that Q claims about everything. Now, there's two pieces of evidence that Q claims exists that have yet to be produced and will never be produced unless they are faked. One is a photo of Obama in tribal attire. I love that. I love that he's got to be in tribal gear. He couldn't just be wearing a t-shirt and some shorts. Nope, he's got to be in tribal gear because Q isn't all about the racist dog whistles or anything. But Obama's in tribal gear with an AK-47 and he's shooting up an American flag. Now, technically that wouldn't be anything illegal, but it would be damn inflammatory, and it would probably lower the opinion of the American public of Barack Obama by quite a bit if that photo were to come out. Now, Q never says how old this photo would be. I'm assuming that it was pre-presidency. So, John McCain, Mitt Romney, and, for the record, Hillary Clinton couldn't find this photo or video of Obama shooting up an American flag while wearing traditional tribal African gear. The political power of the Republican Party and all these other people was nothing and could not stop Obama from claiming the presidency, in spite of the fact that he was truly born in Kenya, is a Marxist, was married to a closeted transgender man, and that their children were adopted, and their entire family life was a lie. Everything about Obama is so ridiculous if you listen to the right wing that anyone could have sneezed on the guy and brought down his presidency or ended his campaign for the presidency well before it ever got any traction. Yet somehow none of this ever happened. Somehow this guy that had every scandal in the world that would destroy him never got destroyed. And so you got the Obama American flag shoot 'em up, which again, technically not a crime, but still a bad look. But then we have the ultimate piece of evidence that Q has brought up a few times, and that is the Hillary Clinton mutilating a child video. Trigger warning if you're upset by images of violence and other kinds of depravity. But basically, there's a video that Q has boasted about that shows Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin with a surgeon mutilating a small child, having the surgeon cut the child's face off, having Hillary and Huma wear the skin of the child on their faces as though their face was the child's face, and I assume using the extra terror of this very weird, very morbid ritual to extract some adrenochrome from the child. Now, this video, Q brought this up a long time ago. This isn't something that Q just posted about. He posted an update, like a revision, to really fill in the nooks and crannies about what the terrible video is all about. But the terrible video has been part of QAnon lore for forever. The Anthony Weiner laptop supposedly had the video on it back in the day. I don't know if that's still the standard that they're going with. But this is a video of an incredibly serious crime. You would have Hillary Clinton charged with battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, attempted murder. You could preferably throw the book at her. Because she and Hoomer Abedin and the surgeon were all in the room, you could charge them all with conspiracy to do all of these things as well. This video would put Hillary away for life. Kidnapping can carry a life sentence. Did the child die as a result of what they did to the child? That's murder. But again, open and shut case, slam dunk. Hillary Clinton is a depraved monster. That's all there is to it. This is the easiest thing in the world. This tape would get her arrested, tried, convicted, and sentenced. Prosecutor's dream to have the murder committed red-handed, so that they just can arrest the guy and go golfing, because the case is solved. The case writes itself. It's not a problem. It's not work. It is an easy lift, as they would say. And this is the thing: is that you have this evidence, and Q will not bring it forth. And I have talked to so many QAnon people about this, and they tell me it's not the right time. We can't do it. We gotta work on some other stuff first. We gotta do this, that, and the other thing. We can't grab Hillary for mutilating the child because we got so many other big plans to do other things. And this is not how law enforcement works. This is not how justice is served. When you have an open and shut case of a person committing a gruesome crime, you arrest them and you prosecute them. You do not wait around for a better time. Hillary might have a bunch of underlings that they're working cases on and all this other stuff, and they want to strike whatever. But no, if you are an FBI agent and you're investigating the mob and you are trying to get some informants inside the organization, you're doing this, that, the other thing, you got a couple cases against some mid-level guys, and then you catch the Godfather on tape shooting a guy, well, now you got him on attempted murder. If the guy dies, you got him on murder. You don't wait for anything else to happen. You don't say, oh no, we're going to roll up the whole mob in one fell swoop. We can't grab the Godfather now. That would disrupt our plan. It's not how this works. The Godfather just shot a guy, and you have it on tape. You got witnesses. You got evidence. You found the gun, etc., etc., etc. Slam dunk. He is doing time. If the guy dies, he's getting life. You bring him up on charges. You prosecute him. And the other reason why you do something like this, especially in the case of our Hillary Clinton mutilation video, is she is a depraved monster who's going to harm more children. QAnon always, endlessly tells us that they are all about protecting the children. How many more children is Hillary Clinton going to flay before Q gets off their butt and has her indicted? Does anyone in QAnon think that Hillary Clinton isn't doing more terrible things every day that she walks free? If you do believe that, why? Why do you think Hillary has stopped committing crimes? Why do you think that Hillary has stopped fiending for adrenochrome? Why is it okay for her to still be free when you have evidence that would put her away for life? Open and shut case. Yet Q will not prosecute her. It's really strange. And the other thing that people will tell you is, oh, it's not ready yet. The people will riot if we arrest Hillary. It'll be too controversial. We've got to red pill more normies before the public will accept the truth. You show people a video of Hillary Clinton mutilating a child, and I promise you, her popularity will take a bit of a hit. It's not going to be the best day to be Hillary Clinton when the video of her mutilating a child gets released to the public. Don't think a lot of Soros-funded rioters are going to spring up and fight for Hillary in this situation, because she's a monster who mutilated a child and needs to go to jail for forever. That's how our legal system works. This is how people work. We all want to protect the children, which is why QAnon loves using children as a shield to justify everything they talk about and do. Because if you're not for the children, you're a monster and you're a pedophile. It's pretty clear cut and easy for them to make that kind of assertion. Yet, Q does not seem to want to save children from the wrath of the bloodthirsty former Senator, First Lady, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Totally okay with letting her just roam free and do whatever she wants, which probably will involve butchering more children in service to Moloch. It is part of the Q mythos, and this was a Q drop. He himself did this stupid link of Podesta to the Christchurch shooting because there's a tweet with Podesta holding up his palms, and on one palm is a fish, and on the other palm is the number 14. And Q and the people that were trying to push this lie tried to make the 14 on Podesta's hand into the 14 words of white supremacists, and they tried to make the fish into one of the runes that the Nazis used, because the Nazis were all about stealing Nordic and Norse mythology and using lots of runes. The 14 that Podesta was referencing was the 14th UN Global Initiative for Sustainable Fishing, and the fish icon was quite clearly a fish. The rune they were aggressively reaching for is vertical in nature, and the fish on Podesta's hand was horizontal, and the tail of the fish was a standard boring tail, whereas the rune that the Nazis misappropriated had flares on the bottom, which made it quite different. So there was no connection. This was an obvious lie. Q didn't care, because Q knows that their fans just care about lies. But this is the thing, is that Q claimed Podesta was going to be arrested at the start of QAnon. At the very start of these Q drops, he said Podesta was going to be arrested on November 3rd, 2017. And it didn't happen, obviously. And then Q blames Podesta for the Christchurch shootings. So maybe you should have picked him up a couple of years ago. Maybe you should have grabbed him. I don't know. Letting maniacs and monsters roam the earth free might have bad consequences. Could lead to things not working out for the good guys. That monster Michelle Obama burned down Notre Dame. Maybe we should have stopped her from doing that. That might have been a good thing to do, not letting her burn down historical landmarks. Because that's what you do when you're the former First Lady who is secretly a guy and had fake adopted kids and blah 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 and all that other nonsense these people believe. This is the nature of QAnon, that you have to believe the two separate and completely not possibly relatable ideas that on the one hand Q has all the evidence in the world they'll ever need to convict all these people of all their crimes, and at the same time he refuses to use that evidence in any way, shape, or form. That he allows these monsters to roam free even though he has them cold. And Q has repeatedly said, we have it all, Patriots in control. So what are we waiting for? What's the payoff? Why are we taking so much time? Never, ever makes sense. It is madness. It's just ridiculous. All they have done is taunt their fan base with the idea that Hillary Clinton will go to jail for crimes. And they claim they've got the evidence of it. They claim they got the tape of it. And yet they don't do it. I remember that Joe M. had a tweet about how William Barr could destroy the Democrats with a stroke of his pen by issuing the D class. Why doesn't he do it? Why doesn't he issue the D class and destroy them? Why does Q have all this power and elects not to wield it? It is, I've said this before on my Twitter feed, but it is the problem of evil. It is the problem with evil. Theological discussion about God, where God is all good, God is all powerful, evil exists. So you do the whole A plus B, blah, 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 and you just come up with the thing that it is an untenable position to have, that an all-powerful, all-loving God allows evil to exist, so therefore he can't be all-powerful or he can't be all good, etc., etc. And you can have that theological debate until the cows come home. But this is the thing about Q. We're not dealing in existential deities and whatnot, will you? We are dealing with a military intelligence operation designed to defeat bad people who are doing bad things. And this supposed military intelligence op has the evidence they need to try and convict Hillary Clinton for crimes that will put her away for life, and they do not use this evidence against her. And the people who follow this conspiracy theory desperately want Hillary Clinton to go to jail, but they're still totally cool with Q not using the evidence to put her in jail for forever. Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. But this is the world we live in, where rock-solid evidence of Hillary Clinton's crimes, they don't want to see it. Keep that on the back burner. Don't worry about it. A baby being held aloft at a rally, that's the good stuff right there. That's the important stuff. That's the relevant thing in this world. Baby in a homemade onesie, that's truth, that's justice, that's evidence. And I'm out of gas, so I'll talk to you guys maybe sometime later this week, and if not, I'll catch you next week.